All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and if you look on screen, you should be able to see the 88th video in our series, and this is where I started to take the payroll program that I've been working on and convert that into an object-oriented program as well, and I'm going to continue on in here. And first, let me start by telling you what's left. All right, we have gone in and we have created a payroll library with a commission employee concrete class, an hourly employee concrete class, a piece worker employee concrete class, and a salaried employee concrete class. Before we did that, we created an employee interface and an employee abstract class. One thing to notice, if you look here, and I am going to show you what we've got left to do. Every one of these, if I run the program, we want to be able to jump from form to form. So from our main form to hourly, hourly to commission, commission to piece worker to salaried, salaried back to commission, commission back to, etc. You get the idea. Plus they all have this exit in here. So what I'd like to do is to write some kind of a class that will allow me to perform these basic form operations on our payroll. All right, so we'll call it payroll form. All right, and it is a concrete class. It's, so I'll call it payroll form concrete. Now this is dealing with the form itself. Why am I even mentioning that? The reason that I'm mentioning that is we're going to have to come in here and say colon form, because that's the one that is based off of. All right. Well, and I'm getting that error because I don't have. Let me go back into here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and well, let's grab one of these. We need that using system.windows.forms. Okay. Shouldn't need any of the rest of this. Okay, it doesn't like that. It says does not exist. Are you missing a reference? You know what? This isn't going to be concrete. It's going to be abstract. So let's see if we can rename this. Okay, and let's just get rid of this. Maybe we won't need it at all. I don't know. But now it is renamed payroll form abstract, and that's what I want. Remember, since it's abstract, we cannot create an instance of it, which is totally fine. We wouldn't want to anyway. We want to be able to navigate from one form to the other. So we'll just call it navigate. All right, and we want to go from a form that'll be current to a form that will be our target. All right, well, you can see already I'm having problems, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to make this public. I don't think that's going to fix any of our problems. It did with the word navigate, but it didn't do the rest. All right, so let's see now. Are you missing an assembly reference? Show potential fixes. Generate class form. Change this, change this. I don't know if it'll take this using system.windows. on, get out of there. Dot Windows dot. Oh my goodness, this is. Windows. Thank you. Dot. And notice it doesn't show forms. I'm going to have to see if I can figure out what the problem is with that. All right. I write, basically, I come in here and write kind of a, I don't know even what you'd call it, kind of a template for what I want to do here. So I'm going to need to call my validation thing in here. So what does that mean? That means that this class, in fact, let's try to see if we can do this. PayrollLib, let's add a reference to our validation library. Okay, that's not going to solve that error, but let's see what happens here. I want to be able to now use I can now use my validation library. That's good. Okay. What does it like? Wow. Add a reference. Yeah. Okay. Somehow it liked this system.windows.forms when I re-added it. Okay, that's fine. So what is that? That's going to allow me to go from any one form to any other form. All right. And this is going to be our exit routine. We've used this before. And this, I will want in here a yes, no, and yeah, question should be good. Well, I could use question, I could use information. I'll leave it a question. Okay. All right. So if it's yes, well, we want to exit the program, right? So application.exit. And that should be it for this class. Now it looks like I might be missing a curly brace. So let's do a file, save all here. Let's see if we can build this without any problem. And we did. All right. Okay, so what's left then is we have to go in and make our changes to our FRM hourly, to our FRM piecework, or piece I think we called it, our FRM commission, and our FRM salaried. All right, so we're going to start with those right now. And we're going to make them classes as well. All right. Ideally, what we will be able to do is virtually remove everything we have in here for logic underneath these forms, because that's one of the things we're trying to do in here. So let's add, let's look at this once. I'm going to leave this, rather than create, I'm going to just use what we have. All right. Hopefully there's a lot in here we can use, but we'll find out. All right. Let's start out by, we'll leave this in here. We'll remove these constants. That's going to result in all sorts of errors later on in the program, but that's okay because we're going to change a bunch of stuff. We want our calculate button that's in here. And that's really, as far as I remember, let's see, that's almost all we're going to be worried about, to be honest with you. So let me come in here, and I'm going to get rid of all these. I'm going to leave the exit in here. So the exit program or not is in here. And just the call to it, we've already rewritten that, so we don't need any of that. We do need our calculate in here. Okay. All right. Let's just remove everything that's in here. We're going to rewrite most of it anyway. And if I can use it, well, tough luck. It's declared but never used. Okay. So we've got private void btn calculate underscore click with our sender and our arguments. That's fine. We have to validate our two inputs. So we're going to start by coming in here and say, whoops. What's going on here that it doesn't like this? Oh, that could be why. There we go. So we've got this exit program or not. Is that what we called it? I think we called it with a capital E, didn't we? Did we just call it exit program, or did we call it exit program or not? Right there, exit program or not. So what that means is the problem is right here. That rather than this working off of form, which is what we had done previously, what we want to use is payroll form abstract. Okay, doesn't like that, so we'll see if we can fix it. We've got our using validation lib. I don't know if we need validation lib dot. No. Okay. We didn't add our payroll lib in here. So let's do that right now. Let's remove this. Put it back to form. We do not need these two lines. Yes, we do need validation lib, but let's go and add in the project. We need to add a reference to our new payroll lib. So now we should be able to say using payroll lib. All right, and now we can change that to our exit. Well, we might have to preface it with payroll lib. Exit. Well, can we just do employee abstract? Say. Change this to payroll form. Oops, payroll form abstract dot. Don't even need a dot in there. Okay, did it now? Now the error is gone. All right. Get rid of that. Got our exit program or not. Here's our calculate. So let's start filling that in. Remember, we have to validate the hours worked, and we have to validate the hourly rate. All right, so let's do that. Let's come in here and let's add back those constants that we had. So I'm going to say constants, and we will put, we'll make them public, const decimal min hours equals 0.0m, public const max decimal max hours equals 84.0m, public const decimal min rate h rate equals 0.0m, public const decimal max h rate equals 99.99m. Let's pretty this up just a tad. We'll do that by putting a 0 here and here and here and moving that over 1. There you go. All right. So here we have hours worked, and we'll have min hours and we'll have max hours. All right. What happened? Min hours, max hours. So I didn't put a comma in there. Okay. Now, what doesn't it like? It says there's no argument. Decimal. And this will be out decimal hours. Okay, and I got to get rid of that paren that I put in here. Hopefully that's going to fix everything. There we go. All right, I'm going to copy this because it's very similar. So this is going to be OK hourly rate. And this will be hourly rate. This will be min H rate. This will be max H rate. And this will just be rate. All right, so those two are done. If a problem with hours worked, validation, return. So if not OK hours worked, again, we're just going to return. Okay. Again, we'll copy this because again, it's going to be almost the same. Again, if there's a problem with the hourly rate, let's be consistent here. So okay, so we've got those handled. If we get down to here, so if we make it this far, there was a valid hours worked and a valid hourly rate. So create an hourly, whatever we called it, hourly employee concrete object. All right. So hourly employee equals, hourly employee concrete equals, I've got to give it a name. Let's just call it H employee equals new hourly employee concrete hopefully I can do it like this. Let's see. And I'm going to say hours worked equal hours. So that should be a semicolon there. It's a comma. And hourly rate equal rate. Good. Okay. That's just a way of creating this. So let's see. We have to do the gross pay now. Decimal gross pay equal, we'll delegate that to our employee object. about this. Trying to get my stuff together here. All right, so that equals HEmployee dot calculate gross pay just about there, paren, and what's left? txt gross pay dot text equals gross pay dot toString, and we will format that with an F2. All right. Now the only thing that's left in here, again, is our exit program. And I don't think that load is going to hurt to leave that in there. I do want to move this down. This is kind of a not as important anymore, for lack of better words. All right, so we've now knocked this down to about 70 lines, which is a good start. All right, so that is that one. So File, Save All. This has taken a little longer than I thought it would, but since I'm already at 28 minutes, I'm going to stop here. And in the next one, we're going to continue on, and I'll do the piece worker. Hopefully it'll go a little faster.